All right, how we all doing today, everybody? It's been a few weeks. I apologize. All my 6 fans out there anxiously waiting for a new video. Well, the time has come. So it's almost Christmas time, and we are on the Unpopular Opinions podcast on Facebook and YouTube. You can check it out anytime. So I want to wish everyone Merry Holidays. I can't say the C word, unfortunately, so we'll go with Merry Holidays today. I hope the word merry didn't offend anybody, or holidays. I can just say, all right, good times. Good times. That offend anybody? Good. All right, we'll roll with that. So good times this year, and happy new day. There'll be a happy new day. Not year. Don't want to offend anyone for a whole year. We'll just say happy new day. And, that's it. We're just happy to have our health. I got sick a few weeks ago. That put a damper. We were going to do another podcast. I got sick. The C word. Did I have the C word? Yes, I did. I'm not a C word, but I had the C word. And, I guess it does exist. I was a little skeptical. I read weird things online. But plenty of the weird guys I read believed in COVID, and then there were other guys that said, no, it doesn't exist at all. And I think it does because I've had the flu before, and I lost my taste and smell. So basically, it felt like the flu, very similar, except no smell at all and a very little bit of taste. So, like, I'm in the bathroom passing gas, and it smells like nothing to me. And I'm like, wow, like, my gas doesn't smell. I'm the man. Like, all these girls are going to love me now because I don't smell anymore. But then I realized, no, I just have COVID, you idiot. Duh. Yeah, your gas doesn't smell like roses, Mikey boy. You got COVID, pal. So I figured that out. And I feel much better. I actually feel like I'm getting stronger, maybe stronger than I was before COVID. I don't know for sure, but I feel like my body feels good. My smell and taste are coming back. My spirit feels decent. I was kind of in the gutter for a little while, but not the end of the world. I got it. Now I'm not vaccinated. Not that everyone needs to know. I know my HIPAA rights, but I guess I'll share that. But not vaccinated. I caught it, and I'm okay now, and hopefully I can build some immunity against this thing. It does exist. I think. So I got that behind me. I feel good. And, we can move along. We got a couple of articles to talk about, but I just hope everyone has a good holiday and all that stuff. I'm sure you will. Spend it with people you like. If you don't like anybody, just sit in a dark room by yourself. That might make you happy too. That could be me for all I know. Doubt it, but you never know. So what I want to talk about is a couple articles. This one here is called The Green Agenda and the Plan to Collapse the Industrial World Economy. Now, if anybody knows me, all right, you can call me a conspiracy theorist, whatever, but I have always been a big proponent of green energy. Solar, geothermal is a thing. It's when you drill into the ground, they pipe into the ground, kind of like in the winter, they'll pull hot air from more like not the center of the earth, like the movie, but they'll pull hot air out of the ground and then to heat your house. And then in the summer, they'll pull the cold air out. So that's kind of a cool one. I know they do that in places, but you got wind, geothermal, solar. They don't talk about geothermal too much, in the mainstream. But basically, this article is saying that the powers that be, the world governments, are really trying to pull the plug on oil, gas, and coal. gas, they know natural gas is very plentiful, especially in America. I don't think they're going to fully pull the plug on natural gas, but they're going to, stop producing a lot of it. And the issue is, if you want to switch to solar and wind, it's great in the summer, okay? You're going to have plenty of sun and everything, and you don't need that much heat. You need more cooling than anything. But in the winter months, if you pull the plug on coal, gas, and all that other stuff, what are you going to do during a supply shortage? In this article, it says in Germany, they were huge on this. They started this 10 years ago solid. So in 2019 and 2020, they had very mild winters, and the renewable thing worked for them well. But in early 2021, this year, they had a really cold winter, and their reserves of energy were depleted way down. So I am all for green energy, but do I believe that we should artificially kind of pull the plug on fossil fuel before renewable energy has been proven to power the world? I don't know. So, it's 2021 and we have great technology. I can't see the world blacking out with no energy. I would think we'd have a better plan by this point, but it still is a little bit scary to me thinking that we could meet a winter where there's no supply of gas or oil or whatever else, nuclear. So nuclear is a relatively clean thing, but with all the frickin' nuclear spills that have gone on, I can see getting rid of that. So they're trying to get rid of nuclear too. So in Europe, it's proving that they are kind of running low on energy. They want to do this in America too, and also going with this, electric cars. So if we have all electric cars, no fossil fuel, how are they all going to get powered? So we need tons of wind and solar to be able to power the cars. Because as of right now, if you have an electric car and you're plugging it in at home, odds are you use fossil fuel to power your car. So you're using quote unquote dirty energy to power that car. How green is that? And the other thing with electric cars, there aren't a ton of charging stations out there. So if you're driving to frickin' New Hampshire, halfway there, you're in Boston, your car runs out of fuel, there'll probably be a charging station in Boston. You might be outside of Boston, you run out. There's no place to charge, your car. Or if there is a place to charge it, it might take a few hours. That's going to put a damper on your trip. We're not quite there yet. So what I would say to these world leaders, let it compete. Let the renewable compete with the fossil fuel and let it prove itself worthy of completely replacing fossil fuel. I don't think the biggest tree hugger in the world is not going to want to go through a winter in the frickin' north part of America without heat. He's going to say, oh, no, I don't want that heat. I don't want that coal-fired heat, man. It's like, I got 74 blankets I can wear. I'll be fine. I'll grow all my body hair out. I'll turn into a black bear. It's like, that doesn't work. So the biggest tree huggers aren't even going to vote for this stuff if it's going to mean them and their family are going to freaking freeze to death. So let it compete. And I don't want to scare anybody with this stuff. I think we'll be fine, but it's a little worrisome. What else on this issue? I don't know what you, the viewer, thinks out there. You can comment if you want. How do you feel about green energy, fossil fuel, electric cars? I just think letting all these energies compete makes a lot of sense. Also, with renewables, look at Elon Musk's net worth now. Went from $20 billion to $200 billion kind of artificially because the stock price pumped up. What I can say too, so there's a thing called ESG investing. Now, if you don't know, I'm pretty good with following the stock market. I used to be really into it. So in the past year or two, these big investment banks came up with this thing called ESG investing. And I believe ESG stands for environmental, social, and governmental. Uh, those are the key words. But basically, all that means is sustainability. So companies that are sustainable and make renewable energy and don't dirty the planet, all these big banks have been dumping literally trillions of dollars into these companies. They've gone through the roof. Wall Street has made huge profits, and they've divested their money away from fossil fuel. So, kind of hurting the fossil fuel companies that we've all relied on for the past 100+ years with freaking Rockefeller oil back in the day. So that's the thing. So it's yeah, it sounds good, renewable energy, but these big banks, all they're doing is making massive profits artificially off things that are not fully proven, like coal and oil and natural gas. So there you go. Wall Street at it again, kind of screwing people over. They could end up being heroes in the end if the renewable stuff works out, but it's all about the money at the end of the day. So I'm not sure what you all think about this, but I suggest you all read up on it. I'm not super read up on it, but I've been reading about it for a bunch of years now, and I got to delve into it more. But basically, we don't all want to freeze to death. So let's just not hate on fossil fuel. It's kept us warm for all these years, and let's let solar and wind come into the picture slowly, which they are, and we'll all be happy. Unless we all just live in teepees, you know what I mean, like the Indians did, and then we don't have to worry about anything. But I don't think anyone wants to live in a teepee anymore.
I'm good.
So yeah, Brandon's good. Lily's probably good too. So that's all I have to say about that. And that's all I have to say about that.
Just right here.
Forrest Gump.
Germany wants to be
Okay.
fully 100% renewable electricity generation by the year 2050.
That
That's
was
their
the goal. 30 years from now. I mean, I guess that's a decent goal. But there's a lot of stuff that has to go their way. I mean, the issue with renewable, they can't store it. You can store gas, oil easily, like it's cut and dry. The same issue, it's with battery life. It's very hard to store renewable energy or solar energy into a battery. They can do it, but it's not like a generator where it's like, okay, I have whatever 2 weeks worth of oil or gas in my generator. This, you might get a few days worth that you can store into a battery. So they got to put all the brightest minds together to really figure this energy conundrum out. But it's a great goal and it sounds good, but can we get there? Can we get there without there being pain, in the meantime? And not only, forget freezing to death, energy prices going through the roof. People, we've already seen it. It said in this article, in the past year, natural gas prices are up 500%. And that's nuts because we have a massive supply of that in America. There it is. Price of natural gas risen by 500%. Oil headed to $90 a barrel. We have, I don't know if we have plenty of oil. I know we have plenty of natural gas. So forget, the politics of it all. Let's just talk about your energy bill doubling. So we have renewable energy, yet your bill is going through the roof. Renewable energy, for me, it's like, shouldn't there be no bill? It should be free. I got a cousin who switched to solar, and he just switched because, and the reason why, his neighbor switched to solar a few years ago, and I think his neighbor is saving maybe 50% on his energy bill. So he's seeing that. He's like, dude, I want to join in on this stuff.
Yeah, why not?
And we'll see, but I'm going to I already asked him about it. He said, yeah, it's not super simple. I think he leased them, but I'm going to keep checking in and see if he does save money like over the next year or two. But hey, if everyone had solar panels on their roof, maybe we'd be fine. I mean, think about how many solar panels are on roofs now. What, maybe 1 to 5% of the world?
Yeah, not a lot.
Or just say America. It can't be more than 5%. That 5% might be a real high number. If we all had them, maybe there'd be plenty of energy going around. So, I mean, we'll see. But, I mean, look into solar. This guy that got solar, my cousin, he is not like, he's not a tree hugger at all. He's a regular dude. So, solar energy could be a thing to check into, even in the Northeast. If they get covered in snow, you're screwed though. So keep that. And if you live up north and you get a lot of snow up there, you got to figure out a way to melt that off if you want to realize any renewable. If you want the sun to power your house in the winter, you can't have snow on it. There's another issue. But I mean, that's a pretty good article. I think this can open up a lot for the viewers to look into. Even for me, I got to keep reading on that. So, okay. Here's a little personal thing. Brandon is letting me talk about it. I watched the other day the PNC Championship. Now, I watch a lot of golf. I follow a lot of golf. Even if I can't watch it, I'm checking it on my phone. There's tournaments all over the world. But it was the best tournament I ever watched, and it was Tiger and his son Charlie playing in the tournament. And it's all types of pros playing with their sons or fathers. And watching Tiger's son hit the ball, he's literally got the most beautiful swing of anyone I've ever seen, including his own dad. I mean, clearly it runs in the family. And also Charlie is half Swedish like me. He's got a Swedish mother, which I think is cool. And Swedes are pretty good athletes. I'm an average athlete. I'm no Tiger Woods. I can get the ball out there a little bit though. But if you're a golf fan, you know about Charlie Woods, but keep your eye on him. He's 12 years old. He's already shaping the ball like his father. It's unbelievable. I don't want to get too technical with it, but he's got the same mannerisms, twirling the club, doing the fist pump, just like his dad. And, I saw on Facebook a guy I used to know, he wrote, "Being a dad's the best. I watched the Tiger Woods golf tournament, the PNC. Watching him and his son was the best thing I ever watched." This guy doesn't even watch golf. So it's really inspiring to watch a 12-year-old kid. So technically, Tiger's son is a little bit better than me. He's like freaking 4 feet tall. He would smoke me on the golf course, most likely. That makes me a little bit sad, but at the end of the day, his last name is Woods and mine's not. But, and the last thing on this, the ratings. So the ratings for the Open Championship, which is in Great Britain somewhere, wherever, every year, the ratings were 2.1 million. This tournament, this is like a fun little tournament, 2.3 million. So this tournament beat that handily in ratings. And it's just like kind of a fun thing. And props to John Daly and his son too, who I'm big fans of them too. But obviously Tiger and his son stole the show because Tiger was in a car accident in February, nearly had to have his leg amputated. And he's back hitting the ball unbelievable again. Not quite as far. He's got a little limp, but Tiger might be able to compete again, which would be probably the greatest comeback ever. But I had to mention it because Charlie Woods is now my favorite golfer, and Tiger used to be my favorite, so go figure. Just a good story. Kind of feel good holiday story. Okay. Here's one more article. So this is called Why Don't People Trust the Science? Why? Because scientists are often caught lying. And this article is by Brandon Smith, a Montana boy, one of my favorite authors. This guy is a do-it-yourselfer in Montana, hunter. He gardens in the summer, and he's a big proponent of, I guess, maybe not community organizing, but keeping a kind of a tight-knit community where, you know, you can barter with each other. He likes precious metals and all that. He's kind of a common sense guy. I mean, you can call him a conspiracy theorist, but he doesn't trust the mainstream. He doesn't trust the economy. He doesn't trust the scientists. But he's not a COVID denier at all. You know, when it came out, he was wearing an N95 mask, and he's saying it like it is. He said an N95 mask is very effective at blocking particles from coming in, but he was the first one on it, and he's saying surgical masks, 60% effective, and then a cloth mask is like 40% effective at blocking droplets coming in, you know, for you to get sick. So he's a common sense guy, and he always talks about, you know, I don't know if he's an anti-vaxxer, but I know he didn't get the COVID shot. But he writes, why would I get a vaccine for something that 99.7% of people will survive no problem? It's that 0.3%, which are older people, most likely over 70 or 80, with other problems. If they catch it, yes, they probably have maybe a 50-50 shot at survival. Very similar to the flu, though. Very similar. So basically, the only thing I want to talk about in this, I'm probably rambling again. I don't know how long it's been. Who cares? Be quiet. Basically, I just want to talk about when people hear this stuff on the mainstream media, they get scared and they instantly follow the agenda of the government. They don't question it, rather. So they hear COVID is going to kill me. You know, they hear that on CNN. And I know plenty of people who watch CNN. I love you all, okay? They hear that and they say, oh my God, COVID's going to get me. What do I have to wear a mask all the time. When I go out, I have to stay home as much as possible. I can't see my family, whatever, and then the vaccine, get this, and they don't look into it. They don't check. It's like, even if you don't do research online, if there's not much going around, you can talk to doctors. Doctors, they're basically all going to tell you to get it. So talking to a doctor will probably reinforce the media. But I'm not saying whether it's good or bad. Any of this stuff is good or bad. I'm saying question it. Do some research. Give yourself a week or two. Just say, all right, I'm going to chill out. I'm going to call 10 of my friends and family members. I'm going to see what they think about it. I'll call, if you know a doctor or two on a personal level that's not your actual doctor, talk to them, see what they think about it. Don't rush into anything because there's a chance you might regret it after. Even with 9/11, after 9/11 happened, it's like, oh, invade the Middle East, kill them all, flatten them all. That was like my dad. I said I wouldn't get personal on this, but my dad, flatten them all, flatten all those Muslims. And I'm saying to myself, like, all right, really? Is that going to help us? So after 9/11 happened, everyone was beating the war drum. we have to go and invade them. And what happened after we invaded? We didn't defeat anything. You can't defeat terrorism. Terrorism is going to happen no matter what. So all that happened was we probably overthrew a bunch of governments, and it's still in disarray, maybe more disarray, and a ton of innocent people get killed. Maybe more innocent people get killed after 9/11 than before. So was that the right move? Probably not. And now we're pulling troops out of the Middle East. They probably shouldn't have been there to begin with. So that's an overreaction to a problem. Same with COVID. Now, after all this time, a year and a half, we're seeing that natural immunity is working very well, probably better than vaccination. People are going to hate me for this stuff. And, not everything I say is an absolute fact. You can challenge me, get your own podcast, challenge me. Come on. You can write comments up there, whatever you want to do. But it's showing that it's not that dangerous, and maybe there were overreactions to it. So shut everything down. What happened? A lot of businesses went under. Granted, the businesses that went under were probably kind of shaky to begin with, but it doesn't justify it all. I really hope people out there, if you didn't before this podcast, now, please, you don't have to listen to me. I don't know everything. I've been wrong on stuff. I was skeptical about COVID before. Now it says that I got COVID, and you know what? It probably is a real thing, and I probably really had it. But do I think it's deadlier than the flu? Or was it worse than the flu? Not really. Similar, a little bit different. So I don't change my whole stance on COVID now. It's not like, I'm part of the cult. I'm in the COVID cult. No. But, I'm still going to keep doing what I do and double checking things, checking out both sides of the coin. That's what you should do. Do your research. Don't take anything at face value, whether it's the news or a friend or a family member. That's it. Please do that, because you might regret it. Knee-jerk decisions you can regret later on. If you do the research ahead of hand, there'll be less chance of that happening. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right.
All right, one other thing. Do we have another minute or two?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Some of you, my faithful followers, our faithful followers, there's a new thing out called the Oura. So it's like this little band thing. I saw it on TV. All right. Oura. So Oura, and it's like Oura Ring. All right. Yeah, it could be called the Oura Ring. Basically, it's like the Fitbit or the Apple Watch on steroids. Now, once you put this Oura Ring on, I'm not even sure you can get it off, to be honest. Look at that thing. So it said it does all the things. It tracks your sleep like the Fitbit. It tells you how ugly you are and how stupid you are, just like the Fitbit. But there was another thing. It said, I swear to God, all you women out there, it can tell you 7 days before you're going to have your period. It can give you an alert. It's like, that's insane. I mean, I don't know all the workings of the woman, and I think women have an idea when it's going to happen. Do they really need a freaking watch, ring, bracelet to tell them that? So I'm thinking, what about the guy? The Oura Ring might tell a freaking 35-year-old father out there, you're going to murder your family in 7 days before it happens. What about that? So this guy's like, he's got it in his head, oh my God, like, I'm going to kill my family in 7 days and I can't stop it. The Oura told me to. So what does the guy do? He's going to go meet with an illegal immigrant behind a dumpster somewhere, buy some firearms. Day one, and then he's going to buy ammo. And then he's going to go to the shooting range and become a sharpshooter. And then day 7, and it's like, wifey, I love you, but the aura told me I'm going to do it. I can't stop myself. Pop, pop. Jimmy, I love you, but it told me I was going to do it. Pop, pop. No, Daddy, no. I can't. It told me what my destiny was. It's not my fault. So I don't encourage anyone to get the aura and have the aura tell you to murder your family. The period's one thing, but where else can it go? I may have taken it to an extreme, but come on, let's be real here. These things are getting way too smart. I don't want to wear anything around my wrist that's smarter than me. I don't know about you. So this is not a joke, all right? The period thing is not a joke. Now, I took it out of hand, with the murdering thing, but that is not a lie. Look it up, the Oura Ring. So be careful of this stuff out there. Now that makes the Apple Watch seem okay to me. So I will push the Apple Watch. Please God, buy the Apple Watch. Don't buy the Oura Ring. Okay, buy the Fitbit. It's fine. It's training wheels compared. This thing is like a souped up Harley. All right. Yeah. Check it out. I'm not lying.
Oh man, this podcast is sponsored by the Aura. Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, we had some fun.
Also, the Unpopular Opinions podcast on Spotify now as well.
On Spotify.
On Spotify and
moving
Anchor, the Anchor app.
And the Anchor app.
If you want to support us.
The Unpopular Opinions podcast. You check it out. I'm not sure how long I rambled today, but I had some fun. I was itching to get some stuff off my chest. And thank you all. Merry holidays. And we will talk to you all soon.
Thank you.